I'm a camping enthusiast. I love camping in a tent, camping in a cabin, camping in an RV. We've had a night here and there over the years that made us reconsider tent camping. However, this past weekend at the Oregon Inlet Campground in the Outer Banks of North Carolina made me question if I would even tent camp ever again. Stick around and see what happened. We recently took a tent camping trip to the Outer Banks of North Carolina to visit,
the Oregon Inlet Campground on Cape Hatteras Island.
and we were expecting amazing.
You're camping near the beach, steps away from the ocean. What could be better, right? The days are beautiful. Wake up, can hear the ocean nearby, the waves crashing. Nice breeze during the day, went to the beach, awesome. But at night
Is when the horror began. We were camping with our friends from Pennington Passages. I will put a link to their blog down in the description and would strongly encourage you to check them out. We got to town and then headed down to the campground to meet up with the Penningtons. First impression, pretty small campground, some really tight spots.
really close together. You definitely can see your neighbors.
Even the RV sites seem kind of close together. Part of the allure is the rustic, natural, wild setting. So end of day one, after we went walking on the beach, we set up and had dinner.
Had a nice meal the Penningtons made for us. Chicken quesadillas.
They went to the beach, walked around for a little bit, came back to camp. Right at about dusk, we decided it was time to put
A net surround around our canopy to keep bugs out.
So canopy was set up. We set up the net, and as we were setting up the net, it was a full-on assault.
Attack. Mosquitoes and I'm not talking, one or two swatting some mosquitoes. I'm talking 20 on your arm, just full on attack.
It was insane. I haven't been bitten by that many mosquitoes ever at one time. They say look out for biting bugs. We expected some. We did not expect for the vast amounts. I call them the mosquito army. We were seriously ambushed. We were attacked.
I mean, and we even sprayed, nothing was helping with these bugs. We put the net around, thought we were safe, and it did cut them down a little bit, but still just intolerable. We just decided we both were just let's just go to our tents and call it night because we can't take it.
So Penningtons went to their tent. We went to our tent. A little bit later, we decided instead of walking up to the shower house, we'll jump in the car and maybe escape a few dozen bug bites. So we wanted to clean up before we went to bed. So we hopped in the car, drove around to the shower houses, and I'll let you tell them about the shower experience.
So the shower houses is more when you have a bathroom at the beach and a changing room, you have a door that closes and you can change your clothes or whatever. Well, this is like that, except no benches or anything. You have one hook for all your clothes. And a little fun fact we didn't know, no light. So don't try to take a shower at night. So as my husband held the phone or flashlight up above the door so I could see what I was doing, in the shower, you have a long chain with a big circle at the bottom that you have to pull for a very nice rain shower and very nice warm water, but you have to pull every time you want water. If you let go, the water stops. So you have to hold this thing the whole time with one arm while you're trying to get sand and crap out of your hair. So fun.
So that was it. We went back to our campsite, called it a night.
Next morning, you can hear the ocean, perfect, great. Get up. And also we should mention Sand Spurs. It's a real thing out there and there's a ton of them. So those little spiky balls that you step on and hurt all over the place. So I would really take note if you're going to take an animal out there because I don't know how you would keep a dog from getting all those in their paws and stuff.
I mean, we've been home for a few days. I'm still finding them on some of our camping gear, the bottom of my shoes.
In the car.
Some in the car. Oh, they're everywhere. But for day two, we woke up to a beautiful day. It was cooler than the day before. So we packed up all of our stuff and went over to the beach. Walked around. I tried my hand at fishing a little bit. After spending most of the day there, we went back to our campsite so that we could have lunch and Pennington to run a leave. We wanted to get together, hang out a little bit longer, and help them pack up what they needed.
And one note we'll make about the beach, this is a beach that people can drive on. So there are lots of cars or trucks going up and down the beach, which is fine, just so you know that.
Yeah, a lot of shore fishing. There wasn't
Yeah.
many people in the water. It's not a swimming beach, in my opinion. So as the wind started, they picked up and stayed steady, a little over 20 miles an hour, and that lasted for about 14 hours.
Sorry, 20 miles an hour, that's not too bad. Sure, you're at home, it's not bad at all, but when you're staying in a tent, it will wreak havoc.
There was a steady 20-mile-an-hour wind with gusts up to 35 and even higher. So that poor tent was taking a beating. We were looking at some of the other tent campers around us.
Everybody was struggling. A couple of people lost their canopies, their tents, like just knocking them over. If you're not experienced, if you're a beginner, do not make this your first trip.
Right. And we'll say that this isn't always a problem. We were lucky enough to get the strong wind today, but we try to deal with it. We restaked the best we could. There was no point in moving the tent because it was somewhat of a swirling wind. It was coming out of the south and it was coming out of the west. It doesn't matter what angle you were set up, the wind was going to get you. We had people whose tents were facing the opposite direction of ours. It didn't matter. They were getting affected by it as well. We were recently recognized for being in the top 10% of channels with under 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. However, we would love it if you would subscribe to the channel. So if you're interested in camping gear, RV essentials, outdoor cooking, please subscribe. And if you found this video useful, please like it and consider sharing it with your friends.
Our tent is getting pummeled the whole time, just the wind just hitting it constantly. And I'm not talking about a little bit of movement. I'm talking about when you're laying in the tent is smacking you in the face.
It was insane. It didn't matter how tight our guy lines were, how good we had it staked down. We were not going to win the battle with this wind.
It was awful. And try to sleep in that. That's fun.
It was very hard to sleep. I don't think we hardly slept that night. I finally fell asleep. It was probably close to 3 o'clock in the morning. Maybe we were up early the next morning, and then we made the trip home.
We were actually supposed to stay another night, but we decided to call it because we just couldn't take anymore. With the 2 nights of no sleep, I had enough.
We've camped in extreme heat. We've camped in monsoon-type rain. We've camped when it's really cold. But something about this trip was really extra. Sand Spurs expected something like that. The mosquitoes have expected some mosquitoes. We didn't expect to be insulted. The wind, of course, it's the Outer Banks. You expect
And by the ocean, you expect there to be wind.
So I guess that goes to say, Oregon Inlet Campground is a nice little campground. It's primitive, even though it has hookups for RV sites. It does have water, restrooms, and showers. But it is a basic, you're there to go fishing, to hang out at the beach. There's no frills. There's no playground. There's no activities outside of what the Outer Banks has to offer. And that's what most people look for when they do go to this campground.
We had fun, enjoyed it. The days, like I said, the days are awesome, just not so much the nights.
And so it's like, if we rated the campground 1 to 5 and, all that good stuff, how people do, I mean, I'm just going to slap it as average because the campground can't control nature. So it's not their fault, right? That's just how it goes. We've camped and done tent camping for decades. And this was honestly the worst 2-night stretch that I can ever remember having. Would we go tent camping Oregon Inlet Campground again?
No.
We may pull our camper down there and try it out in the future, but we do like visiting other places. So next time we will probably move on down the road or look at something different. So if you're into the no frills, no amenities, hit the beach, go fishing, explore the area, great place for your body, lighthouses almost across the street, fishing charters right across the road. But if you're going to be comfortable, you're not going to be too comfortable.
So let us know, would you camp at Oregon Inlet?